Hey guys, welcome to Film Radar. Fighting is now a cinematic mainstay, and no action-adventure would be complete without it. We adore the smooth, skillful fighting of modern spy films, the brilliance of kung fu wire work, and the brawling of aged action films. They're all interesting squabbles that make us want to up our martial arts training. An effective fight scene requires a good command of tension and an editor who understands the rhythm of stylized violence. It's also beneficial if the actors perform their own stunts. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest movie fight scenes of all time, so let's go. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. At number 10, Cliff Booth and Brandy V, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino's films are infamous for brutal violence. He broke the mold with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which had no violence in its first and second acts, save for some on-screen make-believe and a struggle over a cut tire. Tarantino then delivers a whole movie's worth of violence in a one savage smackdown in the magnificent ending. Instead of going to Sharon Tate's house and attacking her and her pals, the Manson fighters move next door to Rick Dalton's house, where Cliff Booth and his pit bull Brandy execute swift vigilante justice set to Vanilla Fudge's You Keep Me Hanging On. At number 9, Nightclub Shootout from John Wick. John Wick holds a special place in our hearts, owing to the fact that it's easily one of the most honest films we've ever seen. It never tries to pass itself off as art house cinema or rewrites the plot. It's a straightforward bench of the story with lots of action that doesn't have anything to say. The best example of what John Wick has to give is during the Nightclub Shootout. It starts with some fantastic, nasty stealth, but once John's cover is revealed, he shifts to flawless gunfighting and chops through scores of people on his way to Theon Greyjoy. At number 8, Yu Shu Lien vs. Jen Yu from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon became an international blockbuster because of its martial arts sequences. The acrobatic, ballet-like fighting style used by the film's characters set it apart. The film's highlight is the fight between Michelle Yeoh's character Yu Shu Lien and Zhang Ziyi's character Jen Yu. Lien constantly switching weapons to keep up with Yu's Green Destiny's sword position is really interesting. Throughout the altercation, the two exchange both verbal and physical punches. At number 7, The Raid from Hallway Knife Battle. Our favorite aspect of this fight is how it combines two distinct genre cliches. The first is Kung Fu's fluidity. Rama moves from combatant to combatant with ease. Even when Rama's on the receiving end, each motion flows into the next, and it's a pleasure to watch him make his way down the corridor throughout his escape. The gruesome ferocity of the fight makes up the other half of the mix. While most Kung Fu fighting we've seen is rapid and strong hitting, it tends to avoid bleeding. At number 6, Nikolai vs. the Chechens from Eastern Promises. The bathhouse brawl in Eastern Promises is a thrilling show of brutality. Because the Chechens have no idea what Kirill looks like, Semyon leads Nikolai to a bathhouse in the hopes that the Chechens will mistake him for Kirill and kill him. When the Chechens strike Nikolai with linoleum knives, though, he fights back. He was stabbed a few times, and it's a tight call, but he manages to get them both, thwarting Semyon's plans. At number 5, Rocky Balboa vs. Apollo Creed from Rocky II. Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed compete in two of film history's most legendary fight scenes. When Creed defeats Rocky and doesn't care since Adrian is by his side no matter what, the final fight in Rocky subverts genre expectations and establishes the film as a love story above all. When the two face off in a rematch in Rocky II, Stallone once again defies the audience's expectations. Rocky triumphs this time, but not with a spectacular slow-motion KO shot. At number 4, 10 vs. 1 from IP Man. The occupying Japanese soldiers force Chinese martial artists to battle Japanese black belts for additional food, a brutal practice in and of itself, but Yip Man refuses to fight until he sees what the sadistic Japanese officer is doing to people he considers dishonorable. When he does, Yip Man rips through the black belts, transforming what had previously been a purely defensive approach into a full-body weapon. It's a fantastic moment for our hero's character development, since we finally get to see what he's capable of and what drives him to fight like that. At number 3, Lee vs. Han from Enter the Dragon. After defeating Han's army of henchmen in the last act of Enter the Dragon, Lee meets Han himself in the secret museum. The two fight in a stunning climactic battle. Han flees to a hall of mirrors, where Lee can't identify which one is the real Han until he breaks all of them. Then he gets him. And number 2, Batman saves Superman's mother from Batman vs. Superman. For all its flaws, Batman vs. Superman got Batman right. With Batfleck, we got to see the world's finest detective glide around in a woven, grayscale, short-eared suit, flinging futuristic gadgets and efficiently taking down bad guys. He finally moved and looked like the comics of the Arkham games said he should. As a result, we got to see why people are afraid of Batman for the first time on the big screen. And at number 1, Neo vs. Mr. Smith from The Matrix. There's no greater moment in The Matrix to demonstrate why we appreciate it so much. The ever-threatening Mr. Smith, Keanu Reeves' greatest role besides Ted Theodore Logan, Morpheus' constant philosophizing, and stellar kung fu. In The Matrix, wire fu makes sense. The Wachowskis aren't utilizing wire fu because they think it's cool. It's them attempting to reconcile their fantasy story and superpowers with real reality. So guys, what did you think about our list? Let us know in the comments section below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe now and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. And finally, thanks for watching.